Hey everyone, it's Fitz with the Walk and Talk. Man, what an opportunity missed. My light doesn't want to stay on today. What an opportunity missed for this Kansas State football team. They had a great chance to beat Oklahoma. They just weren't precise enough. 37-31 in a kind of wild game. K-State couldn't get defensive stops. They couldn't quite convert enough on offense. They had some empty possessions there to start the second half. But let's start here. Skylar Thompson. Now, I suspected he was going to play. I think I've said that early in the week. I said it often. Then we started to hear they were seriously considering not playing him, making sure that he is ready for what's coming down the road for this team, because some big games. They got 7 winnable games coming down the stretch now. Texas is pretty good. West Virginia just took a step back. Baylor, the game's in process right now, but I don't think they're as dominant as maybe they thought. Big 12's wide open. Having Skylar Thompson back certainly will mean K-State's going to have something to say about where the Big 12 goes this season. It's going to be fascinating, but they say it was a game time decision. I think Skylar knew this was going to be a game he wanted to play in. He was not going to miss this opportunity. He had a great chance to play. He looked pretty good. It was notable that he didn't move around much. He did not run the ball. He didn't even scramble that much. And so I asked him in post-game, and I think you'll see this up on the site later when we put up the players. I asked him if that forcing him to stay in the pocket, just out of the sheer need to not test that knee, not put himself in peril, kind of made him scan the field and go through his progressions, and he thought so. He thought that's exactly what happened, that there was a few plays that a healthier Skylar would have tucked it and ran, but instead he threw it out there, including that Landry Weber catch. It was a catch. That is a really misunderstood rule, and the ball can touch the ground, but it can't jostle the ball loose. I didn't see the ball move at all. I saw his hand move, but the ball never moved between his hands. Part of his fingers came off the ball, but his main finger stayed up there on the ball. I thought it was a catch. I did get the onside kick right, but that's Ryan Black. I don't know if you can review something twice, because that was reviewed for illegal touching. People are trying to say, well, they reviewed it for something different. They didn't review it for something different. Now, granted, they missed it. They ended up getting it right, but you can't do that outside the rule book. That'll be something I'll follow up on later. But at the end of the day, they got that call right. The ball did touch his foot twice, and I saw it pretty quickly. So that was disappointing. That was a huge play. Basically, K-State couldn't catch up after the Jacardia Wright fumble. They're going down. They're probably going to score 7. The way they played on offense today, they were going to score 7. And Jacardia fumbles and flips the field. OU ends up deep in the territory. Defense somehow, some way got out of that with a field goal, even though it was, second down at the 1-yard line, and they were able to force Oklahoma back with some penalties and some plays and get a field goal out of it. But they never were able to catch up. They never led in this game. They were never able to really close the gap. I guess they did lead at 7-3, but they chased those points all day. They just couldn't quite get over the hump. And as soon as they had an empty possession, then Oklahoma got up for good. And really, that was the game. They couldn't stop Oklahoma. As much as we fretted over the offense with Will Howard or with an injured Skylar Thompson, and as good as that OU offense was, Kansas State outgained Oklahoma in this game, 420 to 390 something. K-State outgained Oklahoma in yardage. Pretty incredible considering everything. But the defense couldn't get enough stops. Simple, end of story. They had the 1 interception. Oklahoma never punted. It was just a day where you couldn't get the 1 extra stop. But, I thought it was entertaining that Lincoln Riley apparently played for the cover, kicked the field goal, got the 3 points, got his team the cover, and then paid the price with a penalty that led to the kickoff return by Malik Knowles. Now, would I prefer if K-State on that onside kick, when they had all 11 guys up towards the line, within 10 yards of the line, Yeah, I wish they'd pooched it over the top and created a mad scramble for the ball, but they went somewhere else with it. 3-2 heading into the off week. I mean, it's about where I thought this team could be. I think they can and should beat Iowa State if they play well. Get to 4-2 at the turn. They need this off week. They're beat up. Now they have Bronson Massey. We don't know Boom's status. He's injured, second DN to go down. They're getting thin at a really deep spot, and they're losing playmakers between him and Khalid Duke. So they need this off week that they have next week to kind of regather themselves, maybe realize that they're better than everyone else in the schedule, possibly, and get out there and get some more wins. That's it for the walk and talk. Disappointing day, great effort. Defense couldn't quite get it done. And OU fans, if you could stop booing Spencer Rattler, because that kid out there was absolutely phenomenal. He had 3 incompletions the entire day. Amazing. And even more amazing to me, K-State was still in the game until the very end. Pretty cool.